Good morning and happy Sabbath. So, I hope you'll not be upset with the title of my health nugget. But I have to say it because I'm very tired. I work very hard in the ER because it looks like people forget that during holiday season you still have the same size stomach and you still have the same body. But for some reason people think that they have a double somewhere. And because of that, we've had like a very, very busy time. The ER is just beaming. It's like so much, there's just so much sickness going on. And when I went to work on Thursday, I counted in the break room, I counted all the desserts, 18 varieties of desserts in the break room for us. It's like, now how do you expect us to be fully functioning and to be strong and healthy when you feed us that way? So let's be different. We are anyway peculiar people, right? So let's try to set the standard high. So I just want to remind you a little bit about sugar. And now, I'm not saying that you should never touch it. Even the Inspired Council says little. But try to learn to read your labels so you know how much you take in, so you know how to balance that. We got to be balanced in everything. So now what is sugar? Just a quick overview. So it's a simple carbohydrate which can either be monosaccharide or disaccharide. So monosaccharides include glucose, fructose, and galactose. So these monosaccharides can join together to make the disaccharides, which is maltose, sucrose, and lactose. Just an overview. This is the sugar. Now, there are 60 different names that you can find sugar on your label. There are plenty, like agave syrup, like rice syrup, a lot. Cane sugar, there's so many. Even honey is still a sugar. And you just have to be careful when you read your labels to see how much you really want to take in. Now, there are some hidden sugars names, so they don't always put it straight away sugar, so they might give you another name for it, or it's not always very upfront, the label. So keep that in mind as well. And not all of them are bad, but we have the good, kind of bad, and worse. So try to stay on the good category as much as possible. Now, this is what I want you to focus on a little bit. When you want to see how much sugar is in a product, look at the nutritional facts. So you see the sugar, it says 65 grams. Now, 1 teaspoon is 4 grams. So just divide that 65 to 4, and then you get 16.25 teaspoons. Now, this is something that we talk about serving size of bottle, 20 ounces. Where was my water? My water is like 24 ounces. So in that one, let me just give you. So this one is 24 ounces. So 20 ounces, just a little bit less. So this would have 16 teaspoons of sugar if you drink something. And this is not very hard to do it in a few hours, I can tell you that. Now, a Snickers bar. Again, learning how to read sugar. It says 18 grams of sugar, which means if you divide 18 by 4, is 4.5 teaspoons of sugar, just in one Snickers bar. Pepsi. Pepsi's got 41 grams of sugar. Divide that by 4, you got 10 teaspoons of sugar just in that can. And normally we don't seem to share one can. You just take, you can take care of that by yourself, so you don't need to share that, right? And it's just so much hidden sugar that we don't realize. And I think that's very deceiving in a way. Now here again, like in Coca-Cola, the little can, you get 39 grams of sugar. That's 9.75 teaspoons, almost 10. The other bottle, that's 590 mLs. That would be 16 teaspoons of sugar. And then the big one, that's 34 ounces, that would be 27 teaspoons of sugar. That is a lot of sugar there, a lot of sugar. Now, we also have the high fructose corn syrup, which even Mayo Clinic says that the use of it's increased, I guess because it's something cheap. And also, it's one of those sugars that the body has a hard time to digest. Just keep that in mind. And again, as I said, we do have the council far too much sugar is ordinarily used in food. So it doesn't say that we should never touch sugar, because that gets kind of close to impossible. You know, we need a little bit of sugar. But again, try to limit that, not to have it too much, because sugar, it paralyzes the immunity for at least 6 hours. When you drink like 1 can of soda, and if you're fighting something, your immune system will be numb for about 6 hours. And that's very hard for the body to face, especially now. We are in the middle of a quite serious outbreak of pneumonia, and now flu is on the rise. I've seen so many cases of flu just in this past week. I had not seen flu and COVID for like almost 3 months. Now we got flooded with flu, COVID, but flu, it's quite on the rise. So that's why I want to, share this to really be a little bit aware that we got to play our part. Do your hand hygiene and all that, but also try to think what you put in, that also counts. So even in the Bible, we have in the Proverbs 25:16. So if you find honey, eat just enough, don't eat too much, right? So the same with sugar. Yes, it's nice to have a little treat now and then, but when you fight something, especially when you are in the middle of this season, cold season, be careful and use your judgment wisely, because God wants us to be healthy. He does not like us to be sick, for sure. So do your part, and God will do his part in blessing.